Good morning and welcome to Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. When I look at the world around me, when I look at the retreat of civilization, civilized behavior, when I see the burial of the values that sustain us and have enhanced our capability as human beings, when I say degradation, when I say depravity ruling, when I say populism and false values replacing the real values, then I'm reminded of Nietzsche, the famous German philosopher, who said that if you are powerless to help form self assured and assertive civilization, then there is need for transvaluation of values themselves. These values have become redundant, superfluous. What those values are: truth, honesty, integrity, humanity itself, hypocrisy, double talk, backstabbing, lack of integrity and authenticity. So they are the values that form the base of any assertive civilization. But when everybody, practically, with minor exceptions, especially in the ruling class, suffer from self-aggrandizement, self-promotion, selfishness, self-centeredness, hypocrisy, cheating, lying, character assassination, then there is a need to look at those values. And then a process of transvaluation. This is basically an audit of our values, the values that have outlived their utility, and utility in the sense of their application to the society. Then we have got to change them. We have got to replace them. I was talking to White House the other day, and the boss said, "Will they call me racist? And whom do they select as a prospective vice president?" The selection is made not on base of merit, but on the base of race and color. And yet they have that temerity to call me a racist. That is just one example. It's very easy today to tar anybody with the word racist, which has become an abuse, which I don't call to be abused, as I discussed the other day. Racism can also mean pride in your race. So, and there's nothing wrong in having a pride in the civilization of your race. So, those values, racism, xenophobic, gender specific, they are more a matter of abuse. We find today ourselves at a similar bend in the history. The human history always changes. There was a change from I'll take call of hunters time to compassionate farming back to nature, and then to aggrandizement, then the democracy. And now it's not democracy, it's mobocracy. It is not even actually a mobocracy, it is vocal minorities suppressing the vast innocent majorities. So when we see a bend in the human history, and all values except the values of self-interest, the value of savage competition regardless of all humanity, and xenophobia, which govern our globally thoughts, then those values need to be audited. When we swear by those values, we are not being honest. And the present pandemic, coronavirus has given us a good opportunity. It's an opportunity for the human family itself to collectively interrogate and refashion our values in favor of those that are more gentle, holistic, and sustainable. This is the time when we reevaluate our values and either we readopt them or we reject them. Personally, we have been compelled because of the lockdown, social distancing to slow down and change our lifestyle. We realize how much we have taken and how many of us have taken our freedom for granted. In a situation of scarce resources, we have become more aware and grateful for otherwise insignificant aspects and graces of life. Domestically, at least, for those who have a home, there has never has been such a time and opportunity to relate with our near and dear ones. The work from home has brought families together, but amazingly, this getting together has resulted in more domestic violence and more distances psychologically. The younger today have a better chance to express their playfulness and curiosity, and the elders can offer their wisdom and care. Do they? Do the younger show more curiosity, or are they still busy thumping their mobile phones and playing the video games? Are the elderly offering their wisdom and care, or are they relegated to the loneliness in the family rooms where they are just pieces of furniture? Intellectually and academically, homeschooling, aided by the globally available resources, might become the soon new normal. The development of personal skills may gradually supersede the need for a long, laborious, unfocused formal education. As a matter of fact, what I see is that the educational and entertainment resources are shared today, but what about the intellectual property rights? You can be sure we have to bid goodbye to them. That is at one level. Economically, we recognize that now we have taken our service for granted, especially the hidden and unpaid services of the manual, monotonous, unskilled, and organized labor. We have taken them for granted. We live in two intertwined communities, and that is the tragedy. Coming back to the reality of life, the reality of the governance, we are able to distinguish between leaders who productively unite versus those who subsist on suspicion and division. Organizationally, we can lighten our travel based carbon footprint enormously by hosting national and international meets online, virtual, which is a good thing. But that suspicion of the global leader, is it decreasing or is it increasing? Today, we always take one step forward and two steps backward. The recent near conflagration at the Indo China border shows the precarious situation today. That is the political part. But look at the anger aroused. So much so that some people said, don't eat Chinese food in India. It was amusing. It was amusing. Why is it that we bid goodbye to rationalism? I read in the old classics that in the times when the people were warring with each other, if the opponent would come to you for help, you would offer it. Because the basic humanity was there. The war would start in the morning, and when the sun set, the war could come to an end, and the soldiers will sit together and laugh with each other. The same soldiers who were fighting with each other the whole day would develop a bond harmony. Does it happen today? No, it does not. Today, our heroes are not those who have some values, but those who have money, who have power, and who have fame, who can do something. Well, can you do something for me? Do what? Get me a job, get me a quota, get me immigration status, enhance my prospect, all those things. Basically, the heroes are now nothing more than really our agents of health. Our true character, in fact, should emerge in crises like this pandemic, but it hasn't because we have changed the very concept of character. Existentially and spiritually, today we are obliged to consider the purpose and value of life without being able to escape in our addictions. And that's a vulnerability. Life is fragile, life is mysterious. And that mystery of life and the fragility of life is cemented by the values which have been broken. I don't see the values being lost. No, when the people say we have lost our values, no, we have not lost our values. We have broken values. Either we pick those broken pieces up, glue them together with some super glue of the human endeavor, or we say, okay, our new values would be cheating. Our new values would not be one for all for one, but it would be all for me for nobody. The hubris that has overtaken each and every human being, and more especially our governing class, needs to be replaced today. The human beings are not masters of our destiny. It's amazing that we are not slaves of the harsh natural forces, and yet we are not masters of our destiny. And this situation has created a strange dilemma. We have before us today a chance to recreate a fresh set of values, a fresh step, sort of a lifestyle and relationships. When the people say the marriage, the concept of marriage has changed, it's living together, okay. Then don't talk of the sacredness of marriage and don't talk even of the social compact. Then why say our human values? Because we are no longer human. We are either preying predators, animals, or we are robots. So remove the word human from the dictionary. We have got to see whether wisdom and generosity will prevail and will revert back to healthy, enjoyable, fruitful ways of living together towards a more promising human and planetary family life. Or shall we revert to the old adage, nature red in tooth and claw, every man for himself or herself, return to cannibalism? We are in a state of cannibalism. The only thing is we are cannibals for materials. The only thing lacking is we don't eat each other, we destroy each other. So we have got to today evaluate and see whether our values are pertinent, relevant, or not. And if they are, let's re-adopt them, alter them, change them. I don't mind it. But if we cannot adapt them, let's throw them away. At least let's be intelligent enough and human enough to give them a decent burial and then re-emerge as representatives of a new civilization, the civilization based on animalistic, inhuman, and anti-human values. Shall we indulge in that? We should. And the sooner we do it, the better it would be. Because there'll be no ambivalence. Then the people and the new generations would not be nonplussed. They will know what the new values are. So let's either bend the garment of the values or throw it. Choice is yours. Thank you.